Well, hello again. We are starting chapter 13, Power and Politics, and that means that you're almost done. Want to open the video this morning with a little bit of a funny here. As you look on my shoulder there, you see the reflection of the sun coming through the blinds on the window there. When I first turned on my camera, it was right in the middle of my face, and I've spent several minutes here trying to find a way to position my camera to where that wasn't right in the middle of my face and distract you. Hopefully having that on the shoulder won't be distracting, although now that I've called your attention to it, that probably is what you're going to stare at for the rest of the video here. Chapter 13, Power and Politics, is another pretty good chapter because it starts to try to explain some of the things that happen around us all the time that we probably notice. We are aware that folks are kind of playing games and positioning themselves, trying to get the outcomes they want, but maybe we don't think about the ways that we can use power or the ways that others try to use power over us. We don't think much about the influence tactics that we use to try to get the outcomes that we want. And that's what we're going to look at in this particular chapter. We start off talking about about power and the things that create power. Then we talk about the kinds of power or the types of power, like referent power or legitimate power or coercive power. And I'll encourage you to spend a little time there kind of thinking about that and thinking about different people in your life that have certain types of power over you and what gives them that power. The auto mechanic has power because he knows things that you don't know, and we kind of have to trust him. At times a doctor has that expert power as well, and information power perhaps. So think about those kinds of things and see if you can apply this to what's going on. And then maybe think about not only the people who have power over you, but the people that you have power over. Whether it is some formal power that you can reward and punish, which are types of power, or whether it's folks that you can get to do the things that we need to get done in order to accomplish our goals. Then the chapter shifts to the idea of influence, and one of the biggest sections that I really want you to think about there are the tactics that we use, the rational persuasion and the logical appeal, and I'm using the wrong terms, but those kinds of things. And again, think about times recently when folks have used those on you to try to influence a decision that you had to make. And times, quite honestly, when you can think back and say, you know what, I needed something done, I really tried to get the outcome that I wanted, and I can see where I kind of used this tactic on the person who's making the decision, and then kind of think about whether it worked or not. All of these tactics that we use to try to influence people work sometimes and not other times, and it kind of depends on who we're using it on and the severity of the situation and so forth. But be thinking about that as you're looking at it. And when you write your assessment of the chapter and the PowerPoint and the video and all that kind of stuff later, maybe those are two things that you write about a little bit. Some of the application of the types of power and the tactics of influence and where you see them and how you could use them, not in a way of manipulating or whatnot, but influencing outcomes that you need to have. Well, the lecture video is going to be about 22 minutes long. As always, I encourage you to look through that. Obviously, I don't know whether you watch those things or not, but I hope that you do. Look through the PowerPoint, read through the book, and then when you do your summary, as I say, maybe focus on a couple of those things, but anything that really stands out to you and that you can apply. Typical quiz, 10 questions, true, false, multiple choice. This time there are 5 assessments, assessment 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. Fortunately, with Chapter 13, there are no video calls, there are no tests, any of those kinds of things like that. So when you get done with Assessment 35, and I plug in a grade for that, you'll be able to move on to Chapter 14. We are getting close to the end, and I encourage you to hang in there and keep working hard. And it would appear that you are making steady enough progress to where you can probably claim a grade in this thing before finals even open, which frees up your time to study for the ones that are probably a little bit harder. Hope your experience has been good, and look forward to talking to you again.